Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Steven. My name is Steven with Hydro. So right now I'm trying to demonstrate how do you retrofit an RM pump from 110 volt to 208 volt. Understand that there might be a change required in Argentina. So here's what we're helping for. All right, this is pump is the RM2 two pumps unit, but you might have a longer extension that you might have 5 pumps unit here. But basically it's the same. The first step is that you need to have all the protection you need. You have gloves, you might have goggles on your eyes too, and some tools that you require. 2 pliers, tiny and a big one. You might have a cutters, and you might need a screwdriver. So there are 3 components that you might need. This one is the power plate. That is for 208 volts. And you might need the motor. That's for 208 volts as well. And also a PCB board. Okay. The second step is that you unscrew those hand nuts. Unscrew them. Get the plate out. Get the plate out. And get the tube out. All the tubes. Don't lose them, make them organized the way you like. All right. So you might be able to find 4 screws here at the very corner. Okay. Use a drill screwdriver. Take them out. Now, once it's unscrewed, you might be able to just flip it over. It might be a little bit harder for you because you have a 5 pumps unit there. So make sure you don't lose all those screws. Again, make them screw organized here. One more screw here as well. All right. So at this point, you can just lift this up easily. To be like that. So the whole back cover is off. All right, the whole cover is off. Now you can see, okay, this is the PCB board, and the PCB board used to be here, and the motor as well, right? So you can see from my scenario is that the motor right now is at 115 volts, and I guess that might be the same motor that you're having at this point. You need to change it to the 208, which is the one here. All right, so right now you need to disconnect the cables from the PCB board and unplug the ground. So you'll be able to see those jumpers and the wires that hook up to the PCB board. So this is for the power and this is for the neutral. And those jumpers need to switch around. So first of all, get those all out. All right, we don't need this black anymore. Throw it away. But we do need the white one. Let's take a closer look. Put those whites in the middle. Let me get the opening a little bit wider. All right, do a trick. So at this point, the PCB reconfiguration is done. So if your PCB is fried, you might need a new one, okay? If you need a new one, just get a new one and put those jumper in here, okay? If this one is fried. So the PCB reconfiguration is done. And we're back to the unit here. And now you can see there is one ground still hooking up to the motor. Unplug it. This is the power plate with the Ethernet cable here, right? Don't throw this plate away. Don't throw this power plate away. We need this Ethernet cable later. So use your plier and gently where is the, oh, right there. This one may be too small for me. Right. There's a button here. You might have to use your plier to snap to the button and then push this cable out. Now the cable is separated from the power plate. All right, the power plate can go somewhere else now. And you will have the new power plate, which is the 208 here. Just gently snap the Ethernet cable back to its place. Again, you might need your power, your plier too. If you have to make this in first. Oh, okay. Snap here, isn't it? All right, so you just need to plug this in, find an angle, push this guy in. Now it's in. All right, so this is the flat part. The flat part always go to the bottom, like that. But we don't do it now because those motors need to be replaced, right? So we put this power plate aside. We can do it later. Now get to the motor. The motor has 3 wires attached to it, the ground, and this is the power. The power is 208 volts. Cut those out. All right, so now this first motor is disconnected. In order to take this motor away, you need to flip the pump, and there are 4 screws here. Unscrew them. All right, 4 screws away, and you might need to pry this out. Oh, no, you can't. All right, get this out. Those 4 screws here. Again, don't lose it. And we just need to slightly pull the motor. If you feel a little bit torque or difficult, you might be able to use the your plier. Okay, now the whole motor is off. You can tell this is can you say it? Yeah, 115 volts. And we are going to replace it with this 208. All right. The 308 come with 2 wires here. You don't need that because here already I have the 2 wires. You can unplug it. And put it back here. Plug this in. Put this in. And the ground as well. All right. Then you flip it. Flip it again. And this spinner, and don't lose it. All right. Align those holes before you put those 4 screws back. All right. And just be minded there's a dent here. Always align to the dented area in your spinner. So put this back. And put the squeeze tube back. You might put the squeeze tube back all at once after you've replaced all the motors. But in my scenario, that's just for demonstration only. I would okay. All right. I'm going to do 1 motor replacement for demonstration only. All right, once you're done here, cover it. So this part is done. You flip it. And those wires are all properly connected. All right. And this is the PCB board. Already have the jumpers in. Now back to the power plate. Here's the power plate to wire it. So there are 3 grounds. 3 grounds. 1 grounds go to the motor. And 1 ground go to the PCB. Then there might be an extra ground you might not have, or you might have, depends on your scenario. In my scenario, I don't have a ground, so I would cut it out. If you have a ground that connected somewhere, ground this. Okay. So in my case, is already set. Remember this adapter or this connector, always connect to the plug here. There's a mistake. I forgot to wire the power. It's a very important part of it. So let's turn on the power. The power here, the first one is light or hot. So we use the black wire to connect to the hot terminal. white is neutral. That goes to the very end. All right, once it's done, kind of short those wires, and there is a cable. This cable connects to your controller. Put this in. You might have to organize your wire the way you like it. Zip tie as you want. So this motor is done. So you might need to replace this and then the rest of the 3 as well, because you have 5 motor pumps. Okay. So consider that if you're already done and you don't need this to be grounded, just simply cut it. I'll just cut it for a proper demonstration. All right. So at this point, you're almost done here. So you just need to line the PCB board. Align the PCB board with the cover. There's a slot here. You can slot the PCB board back to its position. And also this power plate needs to be aligned to the slots as well. So once it's all back together, and then make sure those are all tightened together. There's no gap, no gap, no gap. And then once it's done, there's 4 screws need to get screwed back then. Yeah, those 4 screws, you know. So when you're done with all the pumps changed, you change 5 pumps together, and then those 4 screws will help you secure the case or the cover from moving away. All right. So in this demonstration, I showed you how to replace 1 pump and then the PCB board reconfiguration and the wiring process of it. Remember, because you have a 5 pump unit, a 5 motor unit, you need to replace 5 motors. Okay? So that means you will repeat my process for 5 times. That's pretty much about it. Once you're done, you can hook up to your controller, and you can hook the power to your 220, and you can run the pump without any issue. Thank you.